My name is Gina Marie DePrima. Thank you for joining me today on another episode of Divorce with Heart and Conscious Co-Parenting. If you're tuning in for the first time and you don't know me, I'm a divorce and family law attorney and an empath and intuitive, and it's my goal here to combine all of my experience and knowledge to help support you and help to guide you through the process of divorce and co-parenting in a new way and in a better way, a way that's centered on solutions, and it comes from the heart. Because it's my belief at the heart of this that if we can change the paradigm and do what's better for each of us from a place of love and compassion, forgiveness, etc., that'll have an impact on the rest of us and everyone around us in the world. So with that, I'm just about ready to jump into today's topic, which is a good one. It's going to be on greed and how greed rears its ugly head in the arena of divorce, so to speak. But before I do, just another quick note or a quick request. If you're listening to this on iTunes or Stitcher or however you found me, it would just mean so much to me and so much in helping to spread this movement and this idea. If you could please just take the time to rate the program, give it the stars that you think it deserves, give it a comment, something, because without your ratings and without your feedback, this program is not really searchable. So it's really, really important. If you could just take the time to do that, it would just mean the world to me, and it would really help to spread this vibe, get the message going, and we can do this if we all work together. So thank you. And let's move on. Today, I am going to be discussing greed. And the reason why we're going to talk about this, or what it's inspired by, is it's a case that I've been working on now for, about 2 years. And, we're on the eve of a trial here. And what's in the way of settlement is this monster called greed. And it's just so sad. It's just so sad because you can see it. You can see how it's this need to have more. It's this desire to have more than what you really are deserving of or what you need. That's in the way of settlement for these people. And, not surprising, it's one spouse, not both. So what is greed? Greed, it's the energy of greed. It's this excessive desire to have. It's this desire to possess, to take more of, to have more than what you need or more than what you deserve. It's the idea of knowing that you don't need all of that extra money that you're demanding, that you're arguing for extra support, be it extra child support or extra spousal support or extra contributions toward debt or repayment of things that you think that you should have your spouse contribute toward or reimburse you for, that really there's not much of a real need for it. That's greed. It's the wanting and demanding of things at all costs. It's that energy that says, I want to take him for everything he's worth. I want to rake him through the coals. I want to take him to the cleaners. I want it all. That's the energy of greed. It's the energy that causes the fighting, the arguments, this little nitpicky nickel and diming over every last thing. It in times it even gets down to the Calphalon bakeware. I've seen that happen. And it's unfortunate because when you get stuck in this cycle of greed, the cost is extraordinary. Okay? Extraordinary. The wins, you may think that there's some wins, some short-term wins. Maybe you get the bakeware. Maybe you get the extra support. Maybe you get your spouse, you squeeze out that every last nickel and dime to get all that last reimbursement that you think you so rightly deserve. Maybe you get that in the short run. But the cost in your legal fees, the cost in your emotional freedom, your stability, your future freedom, far, far outweighs anything that you're going to gain in that short run. Far outweighs it. So let's look at it. Greed. Where does this energy come from? In my experience, in my opinion, this energy of greed, it comes from a place of anger, comes from a place of revenge and regrets. It's the regretting of, why didn't you leave sooner? Why did you do this? Why didn't you say that? And when you have all of those regrets all wrapped up into one, it becomes blame. You start pointing the finger. You blame your spouse. You might blame yourself. And what happens when you get all this blame and this anger and this regret? You've got punishment. Punishment. It's your fault. You did this to me. That kind of thing. And because you did this to me, I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to make you pay. You've ruined my life. And because you've ruined my life, I'm going to make you pay. And how am I going to make you pay? I'm going to take you for every last dime and nickel you're worth. You see? Think about it. You might have been there. You might be working with somebody on the other side of your matter that's there. Okay? It happens a lot. And it's part of human nature, I guess, to some degree, because it's that our emotions are so powerful. And when they come through, these emotions of anger and that, they're just so powerful that sometimes we don't know what to do with it. And it's the easiest solution sometimes to just point your finger, vent, and move forward. And it's easy to get people in your corner, too, around that. It's easy. And why do I say that? Because it's easy for us to call up a girlfriend, call up your friend and and complain or bitch and moan and this and that and the next thing. And of course, what do? They're your friends. They're going to support you. And all you're going to keep doing is bashing, recirculating, and you get these people supporting you in this negative energy. But when you go through a divorce with greed in your heart, I'm going to suggest to you that it's like putting a knife in your own back. Okay? Think about it. You're stabbing yourself in the back. You're not winning. You're not winning anything. It's a losing battle. It's self-sabotage. You might feel good, right? Like I mentioned, you might feel good initially. You might feel like, oh yeah, I just got another $1,500 out of him or her. You might feel like that. But that's just in the short run. All right? You see, there's this philosophy. And you've probably heard it or you've heard some similar variation on it. And I can tell you that it's all of these things, with energy and emotions and how it affects our beings and our reality and how it affects others. It's being explored by science. And science is finding that there's more to this. This isn't just some, voodoo wonky sort of like, what do you want to call it? Pie in the sky type idea. All right. But the philosophy here that I want to talk about is this notion that reality exists only where the mind creates a focus. Reality exists only where the mind creates a focus. I'm going to say it one more time because it's profound. Reality exists only where the mind creates a focus. Right? We create our reality. We create what we experience through what we focus. And again, science is backing this. There's been many, many experiments to show this. So when we focus on the energy of greed in this experience or this desire of having it all at any cost, of wanting more, of having to have everything, even though we know in our heart of hearts, it's more than our fair share. It's more than we deserve. It's certainly not 50-50. It's just, aimed to punish. It's aimed for revenge or, some other reason. But we know in our heart of hearts, it's really just this expression of anger. What are we doing? We're recirculating this negativity all through our bodies. Recirculating it, focusing on something that is only designed to bring you down. You're being stuck in this feeling, and when you're stuck in this feeling, you're focused on it, and you're programming your heart, you're programming your body, you're programming your mind, you're programming your soul to focus and create a reality for you that's going to give you more and more opportunities to experience that. More and more opportunities for you to feel like you want or need revenge. More and more opportunities and experience for you to feel angry or for you to feel like you're in that fighter, competitive type mode where you've got to compete for resources. Okay? Compete for your slice of the pie. All right? The struggle. It's the struggle feeling. You're creating that when you stay stuck in this energy and you stay stuck in this focus of greed. And in creating that, you're also creating this experience then for yourself of always wanting more, never being satisfied. Because that's what greed is. It's wanting and having to have something more than what you need, more than what's fair, and there's no end to it. It's that never-ending, pit. You'll never be satisfied. And when you attempt to heal your anger or the void that was created by anger and frustration and the heartache and the challenges of your relationship, when you attempt to heal that through greed, through revenge, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, you see, because your focus is not on any sort of healing, high vibrational energy. Your focus is on something that is just going to continue recirculating negative experiences for you. You will never be healed from that. It doesn't help. It hurts. Okay. And again, I said that really, this is really becoming backed by science. There are experiments out there and there's science out there that has now shown us that when we are stuck in these low level type of emotions, which greed is, because greed, as I've been explaining here, I believe is very much tied to revenge and anger. All right. Like that's the root energy of it. So when we're stuck in these low level emotions, science has shown us now that it actually changes our DNA. Our DNA, which is in every single cell of our body, changes when it experiences these emotions, when it's exposed to these emotions. And it changes because that, the double helix pattern, and I'm not a scientist, but when the double helix pattern actually becomes very tight and constricted. And when it becomes tight and constricted, the cells can't do the job that they're meant to do. They can't. They're compromised when they're in this state. They don't function in the way that they're designed to function. And so what does that mean? It means that they can't fight off disease. They can't fight off illness. They can't engage in these anti-aging processes that they are otherwise designed to engage in. They can't help us and support us in our human body to be the best, physical representation of ourselves that we can be, because they're constricted and they can't function properly. They're not meant to be that way. Conversely, science has shown that when we are experiencing emotions of gratitude, love, compassion, forgiveness, higher level emotions, okay, that the DNA actually stretches more. It becomes more flowing. And when it's flowing, all of our cells are acting in the way that they're designed to act according to the best possible plan, the best possible human design, so to speak. They're functioning the way that they're designed to be functioned for our optimal health, for our optimal physical well-being, spiritual well-being, and emotional well-being. And those changes are provoked by how you are feeling, the emotions that you are feeling. And science has also shown that not only do our emotions that we experience have the ability to affect and change our own DNA and how we ourselves then experience life, our emotions actually can affect others' DNA. So that's why I say it's sort of this, the age-old thing. How you treat yourself is really how you treat others. How you treat others is how you treat yourself. So why am I getting into this? Because the more we are stuck on these feelings, again, on greed, anger, revenge, because I really believe that all that is at the root of greed, again, you are hurting yourself. That's how it's a knife in your own back. You are hurting yourself, you're hurting everybody around you, and there's nothing to be gained from it, because what really needs to happen is you need to heal that anger, those feelings of hurt, in order to overcome it. You may get the money, as I mentioned, in the short term, but because you're not healing the root cause, that anger that's feeling, that's spurring you to have that greed and the wanting and the wanting and wanting, and this idea that, you're never going to be satisfied because there's never going to be enough, you're going to keep on creating those experiences for yourself. And not necessarily, I don't mean in a one-to-one relationship here. I don't mean you're going to keep creating those experiences with your current spouse you're going through the divorce with or anything else, but it's going to keep recirculating in other areas of your life because you're focusing on it. So you will always be creating and focusing on this feeling of being unfulfilled, unsatisfied, having to compete for your slice of the pie, and having this anger that underlies so much of your own actions and your own interactions and relationships with others and those around you. You are affecting the person that you are today as you go through the process on a very physical level, as I just mentioned and tried to explain. And you are affecting those around you, your children, and your future self. And what I mean is, let's face it, you're still tied, in most cases, to your soon-to-be ex-spouse in one way or another for the future. It's never something that just goes away altogether. Whether because you have kids or even if you don't have kids, you're still tied. You're tied to the memories. You're tied to the emotions. So you have a choice. What do you want to build for the future? That's your choice when you go through this. And that's one of the paramount messages of my message here in trying to change this paradigm and help support people in divorcing with heart and conscious co-parenting. It's that question. What do you want to build for the future? What do you want to experience in the future? Because whatever you want to experience then, you got to start building it now. And you got to build it now and heal your heart so that you can minimize the bags and the heartache and the anger that you take with you. I've been thinking about this and how can you deal with this energy of greed? What are some things that you can do if you feel like, oh no, I'm listening to this and that's me, and that's kind of how I've been acting? What can you do? Well, one, recognize where it comes from. I think that's really the first step. Recognize where it comes from and make that choice. Do you want to heal? Do you want to be angry? And remember that affects not just you in your life in this one little area, not just you in your life in this divorce. It affects you in every element, every aspect of your life and your relationship with yourself and your relationship with others. So first, get to the root of that. Once you do that, I think, I could be wrong, but I think the overwhelming majority of you would like to much rather heal and build a better future. So what do? Pay attention to your thoughts that you have. Pay attention to all of the thoughts that you have, because you're not having just pure angry thoughts. Those might have been the ones that you've been listening to up to this point and hearing and experiencing the most of. But I guarantee you that there's other thoughts in there. I guarantee you that there are thoughts and feelings and memories in there that are based on kindness and love. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that even all of those supporters that you garnered up to be on your team, I guarantee you that they spoke some words based on kindness, love, forgiveness, respect. I guarantee you. It's there. You just have to hear it. You have to put your attention and your focus on that. So make that a goal. Listen to your own inner wisdom. Go through, try to remember and recall the moments of joy that you had, maybe some of the good times that you shared with your spouse, the parts of your relationship or the parts of that person that you can really be grateful for. Try to get there again. And that's, with Divorce with Heart, that's what I'm talking about. You didn't start the relationship here where you are today. You started with some profound sense of love. And thank God for that. Thank God for that. That you had the ability to experience and feel all that you did in those moments. All the relationship, the leading up to the marriage, the looking in your spouse's eye and saying, I do. Thank God that you were able to feel that you had the capacity to feel that. And at some point during your relationship, you had the capacity and the ability to forgive. And you would forgive knowing that you're not even forgiving for the other person, but you're forgiving for yourself because you knew the importance of letting go of the anger. Or you understood how holding the anger would have such a detrimental effect on you. So you would forgive. Replay the movie of your relationship. Go through it. There were good times in there. There were good feelings in there. There's still a good person in there. Your spouse that you are divorcing, still at the heart and soul of the matter. We're all one. And you've got to find something that you can identify with there. Something that you can be grateful for. So listen for it. Listen to those inner thoughts, those inner words of wisdom. Listen for it from others that speak to you. All right. Listen for it when you turn on the radio. I'm not kidding. When you turn on the radio, you may start noticing that all of a sudden you're going to start hearing, one of your favorite songs that you shared together, or something that you remember dancing to, or just a song that brings up some memory. And there's a reason for that. Love and kindness overpowers anger and hate. That's why. Pick up those clues. Listen to that inner wisdom. Okay. If you do that, you can free yourself from the anger in this way. You can free yourself from the pain in this way. And you are focusing on now the things that you want, which are higher level emotions. All right. And remember, what is that doing to your body? There's a reason why you want to focus on that. So once you start doing that, again, and I'm a big supporter of this. It always comes up. I think it has at least in every episode so far, but it's about taking your power back. Again, what are you building? What is the future that you're building? Take the power back. You can have a better future. You can have a better experience if you build it right today. So you can have all that you want and desire without taking it, arguing for it, grabbing for it, competing for it, that struggling for it. You can have all that you want and desire without doing that, without unnecessarily taking it from your spouse. You can do it. How? By focusing on it. That's what I said in the beginning, right? That's what we were talking about. So if you focus on what it is you want, focus on how you really want to go through this divorce. It's likely that you want it to be relatively smooth. You want it to be fair. You want to know that you feel secure and safe, that your needs are going to be met. You want to know that it's all going to work out fairly. Look at it from your perspective and what do you most want and what do you most want to experience. And remember that what you choose is going to affect your future and how much bags, right? That's the baggage, the bags you bring with you. So I want you to sit down, really get into it, get into the vibe, right? How do you want to experience this? See it unfold like you're watching a movie. It's the movie of your life. See it unfold in all of its vibrant detail. Get into your story. Feel it. What is it like? What are you feeling? What are you experiencing? Does it feel nice and light and easy and cooperative and like full of compromises that is okay? Does it feel like there's this sense of acceptance and letting go with respect? Does it feel like that? Do you want it to feel like that? Or do you want it to feel like it's this harsh competition and struggle? Fighting for your slice of the pie. Get into how you want it to feel and feel it. Take the time to do that. Do it every day. Set your intention to flow through your divorce. Set your intention of how you want to feel, what thoughts you're going to think. Listen for the positive thoughts, and you can take that power back and know that your needs will be met without you having to be greedy. They will be because it's your desire and you're focusing on it. If you do this, you can rest assured, you can have the confidence that the worst of it is behind you. This is the way to overcome your difficulties and to really kind of gift yourself with a better future. This is how you can return to the feeling of love, self-love, respect for your spouse, self-respect, trusting in yourself, trusting in your spouse, trusting in God, source, whatever it is that you believe in, a power greater than you and I, to deliver what is best and what is right for you at all times. This overall is flowing through a divorce, divorcing with heart and healing your heart, trusting and knowing that your needs will be met. Okay, and if you can get into all of this, that together with your intention and keeping your focus where it needs to be, you can have the future that you want and your needs can be met, and it won't be met through greed. It'll be met and fueled by the momentum of love, healing, gratitude, compassion. You'll feel better. Those around you will feel better. So remember that these challenges that you're going through right now, that you've gone through in your relationship, they didn't exist to cause you this bitter pain that you're meant to carry on forevermore, like an infectious poison coursing through your body and your veins constantly until the day of your death. That's not why it's there. So let it go. Let go of the blame, let go of the victimhood, and remember that it's there because it's made you who you are. It's made you a stronger person. It's given you this opportunity to learn how to recreate and create the life that you want and so deserve, and to do it based on the momentum of love and respect. I hope that this has made sense. I hope that this has resonated with you. If you still feel caught up in that anger and that frustration and the wanting it all, take them to the cleaners kind of mentality and the nickel and diming. Look at your legal bill. to put it frankly. Look at your legal bill. How much is that costing you? And if you're not quite there yet, remember what I'm saying. How much is it costing you? What are you really gaining in the end? Because I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, greed is like a monster with 9 heads. Inevitably, it's going to come back to bite you. It's just a question of when. So thank you for listening. That's the program. I really hope I've inspired you. That's the point. Please, again, take the time to rate the program, leave a comment, spread it, follow my Facebook page. And as always, if you have a situation you want me to look into to try to assist you with on an energetic or intuitive level or a legal level, just send me a message through Facebook and I'll see how I can help you. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope you have a beautiful day and a beautiful week ahead.